Yeah, man, was dope. But that's like not the only thing, right? So this is the biggest when it comes to community stuff. I don't think any game in recent history for fighting games has gotten as much attention, growth. Okay, Smash aside, Melee aside, because that shit is still always getting worked on. You know, Slippy was just the thing that was, I think it's still a thing. I actually haven't checked if that project is still even alive, but you know, getting online, playing for Melee, right, like on Rollback or whatever, adapted on emulation was a big fucking deal.
I mean,
Even running tournaments on it, right? But then you know, Nintendo was like, ugh.
what a contrast, right, from Capcom letting anybody do whatever they want to their game, and Nintendo's like,
Yeah, right. So I think besides Smash, Marvel 3 has been that game to just get cracked open and just mess with in recent times. Like, I mean, the PC port has been a thing for a while, right? Like, let me see. UMVC3 PC port. When did that happen? That was when was that released? PC port was like what 2020? Like UMVC3. Yeah, UMVC3.
Ooh, man, that's a good question. And yeah, it has to be Googled because it was. I want to say it was about the time that it came out for PS4 and PC. Like PS4 was the same time it came out for PC. And I want to say that was 2016 or 17.
Well, let me check the good old Steam page to find that one out.
Yeah.
Let me go take a peek. So regardless, right? The game initially came out 2011 was when it came out initially. 2017 was the release date for the PC version, right? So 6 years later, we got the PC port, but it's 2017, baby. Who cares? We're still like, you know, pre-COVID. We haven't been hit with that online push, something like that. Once 2017 hit, and I know I'd have to double check and see previous episodes to see when, but we even covered when, you know, it came out on PC and we were already covering, you know, our UMVC3 or MVC3 and started hearing the inklings of, yo, EX UMVC3. Like, what? EX?
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about?
We had it at localhost.
We had it on the
big PC.
Yeah, we had it there in the cab, but we covered it because it was like, oh, you know, it started trickling early. It was like, hey, we can change values. We can start tweaking little things here. And sure enough, time and time, the community has grown. The tools have been developed and the passion has been there. And we've even had tournaments ran on this version, right? TNS has run tournaments on EX UMVC3, right?
Or, Marvel mods.
Or Marvel mods and such.
Stuff. I think more of it. So it's funny how it sort of delayed. Like, it wasn't that it wasn't happening yet. It was that the pandemic sort of pushed it to the moon. But at the same time, Dragon Ball started to get lower in popularity, because remember, we were doing a lot of Dragon Ball coverage for mods. And there was another mod. What was something else that had like
well, Street Fighter like, Guilty was getting mods left and right.
Oh yeah,
Guilty was getting Guilty is still getting modded to this day. So Marvel, right? The crazy thing about Marvel is that it went from just like getting a couple of, oh, let's get some cool costumes in, right? MVC2 days,
right?
Like, if for those that are just super young, don't know, but you know, if you ever look at some footage of MVC2 and you see like these colors and such like that came from modding. That came from soft modding the files and burning it on a CD. Yes, even the music, getting some of that early 2000s hits and shit that you just was not official in any way, shape, or form. You know, shit, I got an MF Doom version of the game somewhere around here.
Yeah, same. Not MF Doom, but I'm sure if I look in the Dreamcast, it's not an original game.
Yeah,
and it has a soundtrack in there.
So it's crazy. So Marvel 3 just sure enough ended up following suit, and it's just becoming this bed of community work, and we saw that early, right? Stars Wesker, Stars Chris, motherfucking Orange Hulk, or whatever. What other characters are we talking here? Iceman. Oh, God, I have to go down the list of all the mods that we have. Give me some more characters. Who do you got? We got Trish, or not Trish.
Asura, that's the newest one.
Azura from Azura's Wrath is one of the latest ones. Sakura, right? Sakura's in the game now.
Sakura, Venom was recent. Carnage was recent.
Yes, that's actually what we were gonna check out right now. No, that's fine.
I haven't seen them, so I know you don't like me to see them yet.
So it's the Venom and Carnage has been just the latest one, and this is a new video that just dropped, just in time for Christmas. This happened around Christmas time. So Maximum Carnage has been deemed here by Cali King, who we've covered a lot of mods of before. Cali King is not a name outside of tabs. Cali King is pretty high up there in the names that I keep dropping when it comes to Marvel mods. But yeah, Carnage has been added. This video was just, I geeked out. Like, don't get me wrong, Carnage was sick. Carnage looks amazing. Looks like he's running off of X23 as a base right now, which makes sense.
Looks like Jill in the air, though.
A little bit of both.
Those medium kicks.
But if you look at the slashes, those are definitely X23 slashes.
So I feel like we covered it before, but it was very beta.
We covered very early. Yes. This was in the official release. This was all in the Maximum Carnage, Super Nintendo, way of presentation. Like, this is literally like almost frame perfect. This is almost, the Sega one sucked. It doesn't suck, but it's just I didn't like the Sega games. The music never sounded good for me. Some of them, there were some tracks that were amazing. I will tell you that there were definitely
Mortal Kombat 2, my dude.
But Maximum Carnage showed up, and then we got to see Venom, with this weird ass dash that was funny to look at. But we got Carnage and Venom showing up now, and Venom. I mean, I think Venom might have been a little bit easier of a pull because we basically already had a Venom built now at this point from Marvel Infinite, which is now just getting back. I don't know what you want to say, back developed. Animations were already in place. They didn't have to worry about any of that. It's just a matter of making him look like he belonged in Marvel 3 versus Marvel Infinite.
And they did the same with the Thanos mod.
Yes.
And so also there's
Ultron,
another mod.
Ultron as well.
Ultron mod, yep. And there's another mod that they've been doing. Oh, also not Power Girl, Marvel, Captain Marvel. But one of the mods that they've been doing, I think Kevin Ha has it on his events, is damage mod. So you get to see how much damage is being done, not just in training mode, but in each in versus. You see what the damage does look like. Some people that I know do complain. They're like, oh, I feel like these mods add to a little bit of like lag to the game, specifically if I'm playing on Parsec. But I mean, to a certain extent, I haven't played any mods yet. Only maybe they did a tournament where it was like 1v1 mod, where everyone had an air dash. It was so funny. Oh god,
so basically fucking Heroes and Heralds, man.
Yeah, but Super Scroll had an air dash, but it messed with myself because it would if I
your
input
muscle
down.
Memory.
Yeah, and if I hit like down, back, and H in the air, instead of getting a grab and a down whatever, I'd get an air dash straight. So like, there's a lot of muscle memory that has to come with it, but it's still fun to actually replay a game that you're so familiar with. However, it's very interesting that you can really just mess with a game that you're so used to at this point to just to a new extent. It's building an old game to a different standard, to
the point that it's just new to you, right? It's like, oh,
right,
I can't do that, right. But it's like, but it looks the same. It looks like the game that I know it could work on, but it doesn't work.
And I'm just intimidated by it because I don't want to like relearn
it. That isn't official, right? So that's an interesting concept to talk about because there's complaints about player balancing versus like dev balancing, right? Like, because don't get me wrong, some of this shit I'm hyped. I'm hyped for Venom. I'm hyped for all Carnage, all this stuff. But some of these just combos that they're doing, the accessibility to the shit that they have, I'm like, bro, that's OP. But I mean, unless they're like, fuck it, everyone's gonna be OP. I'm like.
Everyone has an OTG, right?
True balance. Everyone's gonna be the same. It's just everyone's strong. Whatever, that works too. But I'm thinking about it a little bit more on the spectrum of competitiveness. But this is really for fun. Maybe if we eventually do get to the competitive side of it, we'll cross that bridge whenever that happens. On top of Venom and Carnage and fucking Azura and Sakura and everybody just getting fucking everybody under the goddamn sun getting added to the game, which is awesome.
My favorite is Marvel 2 Sentinel, by the way.
Marvel 2 Sentinel, yes, there is Marvel 2 Sentinel. Oh god, there's been some other awesome tweets. One that came out just yesterday. This came from HKHan96, which in collaboration with Catboy Fucker on Twitter.
Underscore. Don't forget the underscore.
The underscore. Excuse me. Catboy _fucker. They can run multiple frames on a single frame. Thanks to them, we can now get save and load states to work. Right now, we have everything needed for rollback besides projectile tag, assist, and VFX. but the basics of rollback are getting implemented. 2023 might be the year where we will see a game get, rollback, not supported in any way, shape, or form by developers or officially included, and just being done by the community, which is awesome. Like they have with Melee, right? With Slippy, with the Slippy project. This is fucking amazing. This is what I mean. Like, once I saw this, I'm like, holy shit, Marvel is getting to that point. Like, the reason why I trip out about this is that this reminds me of games like or scenes like CS, like Counter-Strike. Like, for those that just aren't privy with things like Counter-Strike, to my knowledge, as much as I know of it, is that, Valve lets that game fucking rock, man. Like, when that game dropped, source code was out there, everything, like the amount of tools, even as to the craziest of professional senses, like, the big events and all that, some of those tools, a lot of the maps that are even the current ones that are used competitively, a lot of those were community based, a lot of those were community made, and they just let it rock, let it go. Like, it's funny because Marvel's just the closest I've seen for a fighting game to be in that part where Capcom doesn't seem to give a shit. I mean, Disney owns all the Marvel properties, so, who knows if they're going to have the Nintendo itch in the future. But as of right now, at this point, it doesn't seem like they give a fuck, which is perfectly
because it's
fine.
not, but because it's Marvel Comics. I would think.
Maybe.
Not exactly. Like, if they did it to MVCI, I don't know.
Yeah. Will that kind of get them a little rubbed the wrong way? But regardless, like, the game right now is getting cracked open. And I thought, wow, this is just going to keep going. Like, then this dude comes out. I think this is as recent as yesterday.
Oh, by the way, in that video, not in that video, on the Twitter comments, like, so many people are ready to just donate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Angelic, Noel Brown, Jay Wong, all of them.
So Maximilian, there's now a clip going out where you was seeing these things, because right now, ever since we've covered Marvel 3 mods, the biggest issue, even as far back as like the first earliest characters being added in, because it results as to how the system is now. The biggest hurdle that has yet to be cracked open, the Pandora's box, is adding additional character slots to the game. That is the biggest hurdle these modders have, because right now, to play Azura, he's a slot on Iron Man. To play Captain Marvel, she's a slot on fucking Nova, I believe.
When I'm playing on certain people's streams, like, I'm going through the character costumes and I'm finding different characters within them, but I have to like click it first to figure out who it is, or click like one of the 16 costumes to figure out who it is.
Yeah, that was their way, their methodology to get around that limitation. So, okay, we can't create more additional slots, then we'll just start taking color slots as additional characters, because it's a way of being able to bring in a character, which also there has been headway. Right now, someone's been able to kind of bring in Iron Man and Azura on the same team, like let you pick the same character twice, because traditionally in the system you can't. But he loads in with Azura's moveset. So there's like caching that needs to be done. So there's a lot of work to be done. So Maximilian has taken onto his stream and stated like, hey, and he understands, which is great. As a developer, this does take a lot of time. There's a lot of resources, and these people are doing this without getting a check cut to them. Let's be real. Like, they're not maybe some of them are like, hey, if you like the work, you can donate, which if you do, absolutely support. But Maximilian's taken upon himself to go out and say, hey, I am putting up 5 stacks. That is $5,000 for anybody, a bounty for anybody who can solve this issue. Because he is aware that is one of the biggest problems, because that's what's stopping Marvel from having a grid the size of like fucking Marvel 2 and just showing up the same way. Like, having that globe happen is like just one bounty away at this moment. But it's a lot of work, but it's been put out there. The challenge has been put out there. And with that kind of support, that's going to make maybe some programmers, some very savvy people, to come out the woodwork to maybe collab or even, throw their hat in the ring and figure it out.
It's kind of funky how Marvel Vanilla is not on PC, and that had a globe on it. It
did, right? Remember that?
It did, yeah.
I actually liked Marvel 3's character select screen a little bit more. I like
Vanilla's aesthetic a bit more. Just the life bars, I did get used to 3, Ultimate 3, which is, I do like Ultimate 3s a lot more now, like the way the life bars look. Compared to the Vanilla one.
But the characters I think it's still a win, because I like the load in and the little animations when they loaded up and went in. That was pretty dope.
Yes, but at first I didn't like Ultimate Marvel 3's life bars. But anyway, I digress. But back
Yeah.
to this character select screen, I feel like, dare I say, in the next 5 to 10 years, we're gonna, when the game is already like 20 years old or something, just like how we already have Mugen out, and like Mugen, you can put on a flash drive, plug it in, and you have all the characters.
Mm.
But like, we're gonna get to a point where this, who knows if Marvel 3 might even be the catalyst for a Mugen type game, and it would be on a hard drive.
I mean,
Like, that's to the point where it can get to.
there's already some insane stuff out there. Wistful Hopes, who we've covered a lot of things on, has done a lot of Guilty Gear mods. You know, did Sin before Sin was even a character, right? Like that
Yeah,
same person has also
or the
even
Goku
created
and Guilty Gear,
Goku
right?
and Guilty Gear, right? Like has actually even created a new kind of style. I think it's like Skygen or something like that. It's like a Mugen. It's a new Mugen engine running a lot of new stuff, and then it's running like Ryu from UMVC3 and it's actually insane. Like we're slowly seeing the next generation come out for it, but right now we're just working with the tools that we have in place. And you know, like I said, with things like, you know, Maximilian kind of pushing on the community and being ahead and helping give support, it's gonna help push this, you know, over the line. That in 2023 I think we'll see a combination of Rollback and eventually maybe that golden goose or that golden egg gets dropped where we can get more character slots, and now we'll start seeing insane versions of Marvel 3 all over the place.